What's going on, everybody? Andrew Thompson here of the Andrew Thompson Interviews YouTube channel. Joining me today is a very special guest. She is a member of the Ring of Honor roster. She is also a part of La Facción and Gobernables. She has been a member of the ROH Dojo. You've seen her at ringside at some of the shows. She's an interviewer, backstage correspondent. She has done it all. This is Amy Rose. What's going on, Amy?
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
I appreciate you taking the time to do this. I've interviewed quite a few Ring of Honor talents as of late, and I've always asked the same question at some point during the interview. What did you do to keep yourself occupied in the ROH bubble?
So during the bubble, I played a lot of video games. I'm a huge gamer, so thankfully I was able to at least bring in my Switch in there,
Mm,
and I played some Pokemon. And it's funny because the first bubble I got to go to, I was just trying to catch some legendaries that I was missing.
mm.
And I just got on a hot streak and I caught like maybe 6 or 7 legendary Pokemon. So it was awesome.
Mm. Like, yeah, so you are you into other console gaming as well, or it's just
Oh,
like
for
strictly the
sure. I
Switch?
just got a PS5.
Okay.
I also got the new Xbox. So I would say I'm very big into gaming all around.
Mm. Like I've been like lately, I've been like really into the it's a Call of Duty mobile. It's like
Oh,
it's
nice.
it's on my phone, so it's like it's and the graphics are like super crazy. So that's why I've been like
Really?
really enjoying. Yeah, it's like it's very realistic. I'm not saying gonna say it's on the level of a console, but it's doable and it's like it looks
No,
really well.
definitely.
Yeah, so I've been like really enjoying it. And then it's super accessible. You just whenever you get bored or whenever you feel like playing, you just pull out the phone and then it's like I've been like really enjoying that. So it's cool that you're a gamer, man. I think that's
Yeah,
real
that's
cool.
cool. Me and my boyfriend absolutely are obsessed with Black Ops right now. So
Okay.
we've been playing like crazy. So I didn't even think the mobile game was like
Yeah.
anything comparable. So I might actually try that out.
Yeah, I think you should. I think a lot of people kind of sleep on it because it's like, it's not, I wouldn't say it's up to the standards graphic wise to what you see on console, but it's really good. Like it kind of shocked me. I think that's why I kind of been hooked on it a little bit. And they have all
That's cool.
the game modes like the war zone that people like playing, and of course the
Oh,
regular
wow.
multiplayer stuff. So it's cool, man. And they don't take up a lot of space on your phone too. So that's
Wow.
always
Yeah,
a
I'll
good
check
thing.
that out.
Yeah. So like like it's been a hot start to 2020 for yourself and for a lot of your colleagues. I know you were one of the many names that were announced to be re-signing with Ring of Honor. So kind of walk me through your thought process in terms of like you deciding to put pen to paper and re-up with Ring of Honor again.
Definitely. The reason I decided to go back to Ring of Honor, stay with the company, is because honestly, they are taking care of all of us throughout this entire pandemic. I would say there was maybe 9 months where I couldn't be at the events.
Mm,
So all of my input was through social media, making content for the fans on week by week. And throughout that entire process, Ring of Honor continued to pay me and my colleagues. And to me, that spoke volumes. That meant a lot to me that they were willing to take care of us and help us throughout these tough times.
mm,
There's a lot of companies that I've seen that weren't, as kind, let people go during these tough times. And that's what really helped me make that decision to say, all right, you guys invested in me. Now I do have the opportunity to come back now and be at the shows. I'm going to give 110% there.
right. Well, I've heard that like quite a few times just from people within ROH that it's like they really enjoyed how ROH handled the COVID-19 pandemic because I'm sure it wasn't an easy business decision to
Not at all.
because you got other stuff in there as well that us fans probably don't even know about that they got to work out, but it seemed like they handled everything real well. And I even heard that the people that they had scheduled for upcoming events that were nearby, they had went ahead and made sure they were paid, and even though the shows didn't happen. So I think ROH has like really built up like a lot of goodwill over the pandemic. I feel like that's fair to say, and like I think in translation, like that has like brought people into their product even more now if they weren't already focused in on Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm. I
Mm,
completely agree with you. The other reason that I decided to stay with Ring of Honor is because I feel like they're my family.
mm.
I've been there for a very long time now. I started 2017, like you said, ringing the bell, and I never looked back. I've been grinding it out, went through the dojo system, and these are my family members. These are the
Right.
people I've spent so much time with.
Mm.
So for me, it was really an easy choice.
And I mentioned at the top that you're a member of La Facción and Gobernables, of course, with Kenny King, Roosh, Dragon Lee, and new member, Beastie Del Ring, of course. He's in there, the
Hmm.
father to Roosh and Dragon Lee, which I think is really cool that they get to work with their dad. But like, I'm pretty sure it wasn't easy, and it was kind of like a blow at the beginning of 2020 because you guys had a lot of momentum coming behind you. You were a newly introduced group, and you guys kind of started to get the ball rolling, and then just like that, all got taken away. So I'm pretty sure that was a blow to to have the group's progress kind of put on hold, and then had to continue it months down the line.
Yeah, it was definitely difficult. I was actually our last event. Roosh won the title again in our
Yeah.
last show in front of a crowd. And after that, we went to 19th. We were gonna do 18th anniversary, and it just shut down. Everything shut down completely. We landed, the planes landed, and they told us the shows are canceled. And it was wild. We were all like in shock. We were like, what? Like, what is happening? And like you said, the momentum of the group, we were just starting. We finally put everything together after months of building it, and just had to kind of hit that pause button for a second. But now we're back. We're stronger than ever. And I'm excited for what's coming next.
Like you guys were in Nashville. I remember like that final stretch. Like you guys were in Nashville, Baltimore. I know you guys were in another city. Like you guys were making the rounds as you always do, touring the country. Like, well, what were some of your favorite moments prior to the pandemic? Let's say early 2020 or late 2019. Like favorite road stories, favorite backstage moments, anything along those lines that would kind of happen like literally right before the pandemic that you can recall and that you enjoyed.
So I really enjoyed all of it. I love traveling. I love getting to see all the different cities.
Mhm.
I absolutely love when we get to try new foods. That's always really fun. But something that was special to me in 2019, we actually went to our first time in Miami. And that was awesome because that's where I'm from. I'm from Miami. And so I got to ring announce for a Future of Honor match in front of my mom and my grandmother. So for me, that was super special. And then after that, I showed everyone around, took them all to the hottest spots in Miami, and it was really fun. But
That's it.
I
Oh,
think
you right.
also something not a lot of people know too much about, but when we actually landed for that last show in Las Vegas, and the shows unfortunately were canceled, we did get to have kind of a little vacation, and it was
Yeah.
awesome. We hit the strip, we took a private, a party van,
Right.
and we had a blast. So even though it was months that we didn't get to see each other again, I thought it was a great final hurrah.
Right. And Amy, I don't know if you have like any recollection of this. Like, I hope you do. But back in February of 2020, I had interviewed you at the Free Enterprise show. I don't know if you,
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you have any recollection of that, but I did. And I remember when I interviewed you, the audio to my microphone wasn't like the toggle on my microphone never got to turn on, so the audio was just
Oh,
it was
really?
it
So
was
none of it went
it was
through.
none of it, but I had
Oh,
I had the video, but when I listened back to it, it was just the audio and there were other people in the room doing interviews, so we really couldn't,
oh,
like
that's such a shame.
no, I was heated. I was
That
heated.
sucks.
So this was like my makeup when I talked to the ROH PR guy Mark. He presented the opportunity, and I was like, this is my make good right here. Finally,
That's awesome.
a whole year. It was like to the month almost, because I remember that ROH Free Enterprise show was like on the I'm gonna say the 9th or the 10th of
Yeah.
February. So we like it's like a full
Yeah, just
yeah it's
exactly a
right
year. That's wild.
yeah I
That's
know
crazy.
yeah it's crazy.
Yeah,
So
that feels like so long ago.
um
Even just free enterprise feels like such a long time ago.
yeah
I
yeah
remember we went into that room, we did all our interviews with so many different people.
mhm.
So I'm glad we were able to finally do this. And hopefully this audio is working. Hopefully we can get this out to the world.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, I'm glad we were able to do this. But also you mentioned being in the ROH dojo like for a period of time. Like as being a full-time in-ring competitor ever been something that has crossed your mind, or do you kind of like being the like you can do everything, the interviewing, the backstage correspondent, being at ringside, or has there ever been any aspirations from your side to transition full-time to being in the ring?
So I think for me, I really enjoy all aspects of wrestling. I love being ringside as a manager. I
Mhm.
love helping the guys come together. come up with plans, make everything come through. And I love just being able to be part of the match, not necessarily being in the match. To me, is really special. I like to tell a story. So for me, that's always really cool. But I will say, after so much time in the Ring of Honor dojo, all the drills I did, all the matches I'd had, all the times where, I got my butt beat, I definitely would love the opportunity to step into the ring and represent for the women's division in Ring of Honor. And, I'm hoping and I'm praying that just like the pure division, women's division gets a reboot as well. And we get to bring in there some new ladies and hopefully, finally get time for that Women of Honor championship.
There we go. There we go. See, you gunning for it already. That's what I like. There we go.
Yeah, you gotta set yourself high.
So like,
I'm surrounded by champions. I gotta match them.
Right. And then of course they like literally, I know right before the pandemic, they mentioned that, or they announced the news that they were going to have a tournament to crown the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, which I thought was really cool. It was vacated previously, and it was cool to see that, the way that they announced it and kind of, I guess, presented somewhat of the format. It was like a legit, like they were serious, and everything was about to kick off, and they had plenty of people that they didn't announce that they had waiting in the wings. I know Kellyanne was one of the people, and she's currently with Ring of Honor. Did you ever hear anything about like if you could have possibly been in that tournament? Because I know they didn't announce like many people, like they didn't get the chance to, honestly. But like, did you ever hear anything like if you were possibly could be in that tournament?
So I didn't hear anything just yet because we were still in the process of getting everything together. And at that time, I was more focused on the managing aspect of things. But I do think going forward, if we do continue, which I'm definitely expecting, I would hope so soon. I think when the women's division does come back, you guys may just see me there as a surprise. Who knows?
There we go. That's a little mini scoop, little mini scoop for the people watching, man. But like, I'm interested in hearing your perspective on this, because you've been a Ring of Honor since 2017. You have kind of a unique perspective from being like in various places. Like you've seen like kind of the ups and downs of the Ring of Honor women's division. Like you've seen the notable names come through. You've seen people leave. You've seen like things kind of get started, kind of get kickstarted, and then kind of go to the wayside. Like, what has been sort of your assessment of the Ring of Honor women's division over the years, as there has been like a upward trajectory, and at times has had down periods?
Definitely. I think that, it's definitely had its ups and downs. There's definitely been some struggles, a lot of talent that, will start with us and then end up finding opportunities elsewhere. Sometimes that, can cause a little bit of a setback. But I do believe that when we come back, it's going to be something different, and it's going to be a lot more focused, and a lot more attention will be put on it. And I'm excited to see, all the new talent that may be coming through. I'm excited to see the girls that have been there for a very long time. Sumi Sakai, Mandy Leon. I'm excited for Angelina. All these women who, haven't really had the opportunity to shine during this pandemic. I'm so excited for them to come back and have that opportunity. And I've seen Maria Kanellis is now coming in. She's hearing everyone's voice. So I think the best thing you guys can do is just, choose your honor. Like she says, speak your mind. Let them know that women's wrestling is important to you guys, and let them know who you guys want to see in the ring.
Right. And I think it's obvious that Ring of Honor is open to reaching out outside of that Ring of Honor roster. Like, obviously, I think they're willing to, look at some of the people on the independent scene, look at some of the talents on the independent scene, and bring them in and to possibly compete in that tournament. So I think it's a lot to look forward to as far as the Ring of Honor women's division goes. But you mentioned Mandy Leon, and I saw a video on the Ring of Honor YouTube channel where you guys went through one of the haunted asylums.
Oh, yeah, that was so fun.
Well, I got to hear you break this down. Of course, anybody can go check out the video on Ring of Honor's YouTube channel, but I wanted to hear your firsthand account of your time going through a haunted house. Was that this past October?
Yes, we just did that this past October. It was so fun. It was really unexpected, but she called me up and said, "Hey, I got invited to go to Field of Screams. Would you want to come through? And we'll film everything." And I was like, at first I was like, "Ooh, I don't know how I feel about that. It's a little scary." But I said, screw it. Let's give it a shot. And it was so much fun. Definitely all those reactions. There was no no way to act that out. That was true
Mhm.
fear. Like we were freaking out the whole time, popping out at us. So it was really fun. And if you guys ever get the opportunity next October, Field of Screams in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, you guys can definitely go out there. It's so fun. And I highly recommend it.
Yeah, Field of Scream is like definitely one of the top like haunted houses slash trails like out there. It's one in Maryland. I know, and I think it
Oh,
only.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
They did do that one.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's one in only Maryland. Like it's that's one I love like the haunted houses, but the trails like I'm a fan of the like the houses too, but the trails that's the I feel like that's the like cream of the crop right there. You can't get no better than that.
That's true. That's so
Mm,
cool.
mm. And like we kind of alluded to it a couple times during the interview, like yourself being at ringside with Curry Silk, and like I like me watching, like I've seen you so many times, like right beside Curry, and I've seen Curry right there too. And I always kind of wondered like what he was doing right there, and I kind of wondered what you were doing. Like so, I was like I always thought like is she running social media? Like is she like taking like the ringside pictures? Like so like what do you and Curry do right there? Like I always wondered.
So I think for me, when I was at ringside, I really enjoyed taking over Ring of Honor's Instagram, and I would catch live
Oh,
video, photos at ringside. And I really liked showing people what it's like to sit there because honestly, you could have every seat in the entire arena, but there's nothing like being at that ringside table. You're
mhm.
right there in the action. You have the best view. I mean, there's been so many times where me and Carrie have had to run for our lives because people are crashing through our table. It's unexpected a lot of the time too. We'll just be sitting there, and next thing you know, Roosh just slamming someone through the
Mhm.
table. So I think that's what I really like to do at ringside. Carrie is hilarious. Carrie loves to watch the matches, but he also likes to, make some jokes, crack jokes with me. And I think a lot of the time, if you look at the footage, you happen to see us, we're usually laughing, we're usually
Mhm.
having a good time. He is always having fun at ringside.
Yeah, because you guys are like literally like with the way ROH shoots the hard camera, like you guys are literally like right there in the tables, right? So I always wonder. I was like, what does Amy and Carrie do right there? Because I would see you sometimes like catch you in the corner of my eye, like you be holding the phone. So I was like, oh, she must be
Yeah.
doing social media.
Captain
So yeah,
Socials. Yep.
right there we go. So that's cool. And of course we got to mention I believe it was 2019. If 2019 feels like centuries ago, man. But like I know you guys had the G1 Supercar show in Madison Square Garden. Come on, man. You gotta tell me what that was like just being in that atmosphere, Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling coming together to present this massive event that sold out, of course. You guys are in the heart of New York City and the Mecca. Like, what was that whole experience like, man? And
It
being able to
was
see that show to, its very end.
it was incredible to see that many people in one place and just to feel that energy. You know, I've had two really big events that I've gotten to be a part of, G1 Supercard, and I did get to be ringside for All In. And I would say those two events are the most insane crowds I've ever seen in my life. It's actually crazy to me to think back on it and feel all of that energy and even to imagine that, especially in today's climate, just to think like, wow, we actually had this sold out arena full of people just to watch Ring of Honor and New Japan Wrestling. Like to me, it was such a special memory, something I'll never forget.
Yeah, that
And I even
there you go.
remember Great Muda coming up at the end. And I swear I thought he was gonna miss me. I was like, whoa, that was so intense. So for me, it's something I'll always remember.
Like that All In show, that was like one of the most liveliest crowds that I've ever seen. Like it's people. I think people just wanted an alternative. They just wanted
Yeah.
something different, and it got presented
Hmm.
to them, and they were ready for it. And like I feel like just within professional wrestling today, there's so many different things to watch. Like it's not specifically one thing that you gotta watch. Is you got Ring of Honor, you got AEW, you got New Japan, you got the independents that you can watch if you're just strictly an independent wrestling fan, and of course you got
Hmm.
WWE. I think wrestling overall is like in a real solid space right now, like just overall its growth. And I was going to ask you, like, of course, we've seen the various partnerships taking place between AEW and Impact and AAA's involved and NWA. Like I had recently spoke to Shane Taylor, and he was of the mindset that he thinks a partnership with, of course, possibly getting Ring of Honor involved would be good, but he thinks that Ring of Honor has a lot of talent and a lot of individuals already in place to where maybe a partnership isn't necessarily needed. And I feel like not in a negative way, like he wasn't presenting it in a way as if like that was something that he didn't want to happen, but he just thinks that Ring of Honor has a very solid roster and a solid group of individuals there to where maybe a partnership isn't necessarily something that needs to happen like right now. And I was just wondering what you thought.
I think there's benefits to both. I think there's definitely a lot to what Shane is saying. I agree, because we've been working so hard, especially throughout this pandemic. We've been wanting to present something different to the fans. Like you said, everyone has different flavors. There's all these new promotions. There's so many options. As a wrestling fan, it's so nice to be able to pick, hey, I feel like watching wrestling on Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. You have so many choices now. So I think there's definitely something to that.
Mm.
And I think what with Ring of Honor, especially with the pure division, with our new style, I think that he's right in the sense that we don't necessarily need to partnership with anyone else at the moment. But I do think that there's opportunities in the future. I think for me, the biggest standpoint would be getting more eyes on Ring of Honor. I would love to have more fans actually get to know Ring of Honor, see our product, because I know that if they had more eyes on us, they'd fall in love with it too.
Mm. And like I'm going back to the Free Enterprise show. I remember at the conclusion of that event, they were kind of building towards the Super Card of Honor show that was going to take place in April of that year. Of course, we have plenty of moments that we all kind of say the same thing is, man, I wonder what would have happened
Yeah,
if that would have taken place. But how forward were you looking to heading down to Florida? Of course, it wasn't just Ring of Honor, man. So many different promotions, so many different companies were going to be down there. I'm pretty sure
yeah.
you have colleagues and friends that you know from other places that were going to be down there. Just tell me how
Mhm.
much of a blow it was to just know that that weekend, that whole week, wrestling week got canceled, and then everything kind of got put to the wayside, especially with Ring of Honor, what they had going on that weekend. I'm pretty sure it was like one of those like really type things.
Yeah, I would say that was definitely probably the hardest one out of all the events that we had to cancel for me personally, just because, like you said, going back down to Florida, I live in Miami, but then I had the opportunity to train for a very long time in Orlando at Team 3D Academy. So I made a lot of friends out there. And for me, that would have been like our big moment. Like as special as being in G1 Supercard was, my family wasn't there for that. It wasn't anything that was like, all right, this is special. This is like really in my heart. So
Mm,
it would have meant so much to me to have all my family and friends come out to the event and to see us, because I know for sure there would have been something big going on with La Facción Ingobernable. That would
mhm.
have been like our big moment. So it definitely was a kind of a blow to find out that everything got canceled. And also, I just really love being in Florida. I love being in the sunshine. I love being back home. And I had made plans. Me and my boyfriend, we were gonna go to Disney. Like we had so much stuff planned. All these events. We had the beach meet and
Yeah,
greet going
yeah.
on with Tamatanga. Like there was so much stuff that we were gonna be doing that week that I feel pretty sad that it didn't happen.
Mhm.
But I'm also looking forward to what's next. I see a lot of stuff going on coming up this April. So we'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure like you guys have different signings and different bookings, like conventions and stuff that you guys are set up for. So I know that was just
Hmm.
like, come on, man, y'all can't be serious right now. But like of course things are seemingly picking back up. There are going to be some festivities of a WrestleMania weekend in April, and promotions are kind of gathering around again. So hopefully everybody stays safe, and we can come out of this, and then we can have the big weekend, the big week, as we had in year past. Before we wrap it up, Amy, one thing I got to ask you, it's kind of a fun question here. Is there any beef between you and Kevin the Eck for him not inviting you to the ROH Strong podcast in 44 episodes, and Amy Rose has not been on one?
I don't know what that's about. I think about that sometimes too. I'm like, wow, I feel like everyone's been on,
Yeah.
everyone's been asked. I don't know why I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he just doesn't like me.
That's,
Maybe he's jealous that I'm with La Facción. I don't know. But yeah, I would agree with you. I feel like everyone on the entire roster has been
yeah.
invited. And who knows, maybe, hey, Kevin, I would love to be on your show.
It's been people that aren't even signed to Ring of Honor that's been on the show. Like I was like, "Are you not gonna have Amy on?" Because I was looking at the podcast list and I was looking through. It was like I saw 44 episodes and I was preparing for the interview. I was like, "Oh, Amy ain't been on yet." I was like,
Yeah,
I wonder if I bring that up to her. So Kevin, you might want to
Kevin.
might want to watch out, man. So yeah, Amy, please tell the people where they can follow you on social media, any merchandise you got, where they can check you out. I'm gonna make sure to plug everything in the description of this video.
Definitely, you guys can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, RumbleBunny777. And you guys just keep up with Ring of Honor. Please watch Ring of Honor, especially what's coming up next. You guys are not going to want to miss. La Facción Ingobernable is about to have a huge year. So keep your eyes peeled, keep on the product, keep watching, and just keep supporting Ring of Honor. That's really what I would love more than anything.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I am Andrew Thompson of the Andrew Thompson Interviews YouTube channel, and I am signing off with the one and only Amy Rose, and we are out. Peace.